Hey friends, I hope y'all are having a great day today. If you're new, my name's Alicia and today's video is what my family had for dinner this past week. So we're starting off on, I want to say Saturday night, maybe, or Sunday night. I can't fully remember, just to be quite honest with y'all. But the first night that we're starting with, we are making some chicken. So I didn't have any breadcrumbs, but I always throw my old bread in the freezer. So I just quickly made my own, and I hadn't done this before I showed y'all here. But I just toasted up that bread, put it in my food processor, and it was breadcrumbs, and they were super delicious. I was very impressed with them. I'm also doing some Instant Pot potatoes. I just cook them for 30 minutes or pressure cook them. I find that the potatoes turn out really good in the Instant Pot, and the reason I'm doing sweet potato and regular potato is because my kids don't prefer the sweet potato, but my husband and I love sweet potatoes, so that's why I'm doing a mix. But anyways, I've got some flour, some egg with water, that way it kind of stretches and goes farther. I don't have to use as many eggs. And then our breadcrumbs, I added Parmesan to the breadcrumbs. Now I'm seasoning all 3 layers with salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, basil, and parsley. And then I'm also going to add some Cajun 2-step fire. That stuff is thebomb.com. It's amazing. I love it. My favorite one is just the regular 2-step. But I'm out of it right now, so I'm just using what I have of the fire. They're both really delicious. This one does have slightly more of a kick to it. Not really, though. It's not spicy still yet. However, the fire one does not have MSG in it, and the regular Cajun 2-step does have MSG in it. My husband and I suspect that could be why we like the regular more. But anyways, I'm just going to mix these all up. I like to mix the dry ones before mixing the egg or the egg wash or whatever you call it. Just simply because then I don't get my fork all battered. I don't know, I'm weird. But then I just do flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs, and then I'm putting it on my tray that I have sprayed, or am spraying now, with oil. And you'll notice here in a second that my husband sniffs the chicken. He's like, I don't care if I'm in your video. I gotta smell this chicken because it smells really good. But anyways, I'm just gonna continue battering all of these and put them on my sheet tray, and then I'm going to spray the top of them and bake them at 450 for about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to flip them and bake them for another 10 to 15 minutes or until they're done. And my husband made a sauce to go on top of them. I wasn't originally planning on it turning out like a chicken parm, but it pretty much did. So he just blended up that can of tomatoes with, I think it was the one with basil, garlic, and oregano, with all the seasonings that he just showed, which was pretty much the same seasonings that I used in the chicken. So here is my husband and I's plates. I think his turned out prettier because of the Parmesan. I don't prefer Parmesan on top of my food. That is balsamic glaze on the potatoes, and this was super delicious. So on the next night, because I don't remember what night of the week I started this video on, on night 2, we are having unstuffed pepper soup. And I don't ever follow a recipe whenever it comes to these type of things. I generally just use what I have on hand and kind of just go with the flow. So I did originally plan on making unstuffed pepper soup with some of the bell peppers that I had. I was only going to use 2 bell peppers, but these bell peppers, they got to looking sad quick. I don't know what happened. But we're starting off with some ground beef. I don't remember if I already said that. Sorry if I did. But anyways, we've also got 3 bell peppers and then 1 3/4 of an onion. Because my husband needed a quarter of an onion. So he decided to turn that onion into pack onion or Pac-Man onion, whatever. And then we've also got several cloves of garlic. So I'm going to give all of these a good chop and then add them into the Instant Pot with the meat. And you will see this is how I like to cut my bell peppers. I've shown it once or twice before, but I like to cut the top off of it and then kind of just scoop out the insides. And then you can kind of just poke the green stem piece out of the top and you get to use all of your bell pepper. And you have no bell pepper wastage and no seeds everywhere. But yeah. And then once I get, everything cut up, I already said we were going to put it in the pot with the meat that is fully cooked by now. And then while all of this is sauteing, I'm going to chop up my garlic. So now that we are caught up on what's going on with the food for a minute, I figured that I would take this time to see if any of y'all have any questions about me or questions about anything, really. I can't guarantee that I will answer them all. I don't know. Sometimes people can say or ask some very interesting things. So within reason, I will answer them all. Probably via comment back to you. Unless you want to send the question to my email, which I leave in the About Me tab. And y'all can feel free to use it whenever you want to. If you want to email me about anything or send me a recipe or anything like that. I love talking with y'all. But anyways, back to the food. So got the garlic chopped up. We're going to be adding it in. Then we're going to add in a 15-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes with green chilies. And I thought that would be like rotel, but it actually wasn't. And then we're going to add in a 24-ounce can of mushroom pasta sauce. And then I'm going to add a can each of water. Now, if I wouldn't have had cooked rice in my fridge, then I would have also added in 1 cup of uncooked rice at this point. I'm seasoning it with garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and beef bouillon powder. Once I've got all the seasonings in there, I am going to pressure cook it for 7 minutes. And then I'm going to let it do a natural release for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to quick release all the rest of the pressure and add in a container of cooked rice that I had left over from another meal. I probably added in close to 4 cups of cooked rice, but like I said, I would have just done 1 cup of uncooked rice in here, and I wouldn't have added any extra liquid or anything like that, and it would have turned out perfect. I also probably would have pressure cooked it on the rice setting, which usually pressure cooks it for, I think, 12 or 13 minutes. But either way, here is what it looks like whenever it is all complete. Well, there's the rice going in. And then once I mix the rice in, then you'll see what it looks like all complete, which is now. I just put some cheese on top of this. Honestly, just for presentation. I didn't think it needed cheese. My kids love the fact that we put cheese on it. And we would have cheese on stuffed peppers, but it's delicious. On to night 3. So for night 3, we are doing a pumpkin and tomato soup with grilled cheesies. I did get inspiration for this from someone during the Pumpkin Palooza collaboration, and very sorry, I do not know who it was. However, I am going to put their name on the screen right now. I'm going to put the link to their video in the description box because they deserve credit because they're exactly why I made this. But I took some homemade pumpkin puree, 2 cans of tomato sauce plain. I added in some tomato and chicken bouillon, some salt, some pepper. I like to add the tomato chicken bouillon to things that are already red-ish colored or things that are like darker colored. That way we don't end up with pinkish red egg drop soup. And if you know, you know on that one. Once I get all my seasonings stirred in, I'm going to bring it up to temperature slowly because you don't want to have it on full blast because then you're going to have tomato soup popping everywhere or like boiling everywhere. I don't know. If you find that this is too acidic, I might have already said this, but you can add a bit of sugar. And then once it's nice and warm, I'm adding in a can of that premium coconut milk. It's a Kroger brand and it's delicious. It's very thick and I just think it's a great deal. And we had this with grilled cheesies with a little extra cheese on top to make it look super fancy. It tastes super fancy. On night 4, I think it is, we had chicken and waffles. My husband made the fried chicken. I made the waffles. And you really cannot go wrong with chicken and waffles. They are just super delicious. But anyways, yeah, here it is. On night 5, I made some crock pot barbecue pulled pork. And so we had barbecue pulled pork sandwiches. I put jalapenos on mine along with some caramelized onions that you can't really see. But we had some beans on the side of this as well that I didn't picture for some reason. But anyways, it was delicious. On night 6, I am showing y'all a time-lapse situation of our ramen bowls that we made with the leftover pulled pork from the night before. And if you're wondering, like, Alicia, why are you not just making a big pot of ramen or making like a lot more eggs at a time? I will tell you, it would be because, one, my kids all like their ramen in different forms and fashions. 2, because any time that I make more than like 2 packages max at a time of ramen, they just turn to mush. I don't know what is going on. You've got some that are still crunchy. The other ones turn like back into dough. I don't know. And then I cannot fry more than 1 egg at a time. I don't know what it is. My batch cooking skills need to improve. But this was not the night for me to practice on them because, you know, everybody likes different ones anyways. I was just able to kind of make everyone's ramen bowl as, you know, to order, whatever. But I just reheated the barbecue pork in a pan. Then I removed it from the pan once it was nice and heated through and got some crispy bits. I added a can of corn to the skillet. You might think that this meal sounds supremely weird, but we have a ramen restaurant a few towns over that serves a barbecue pulled pork ramen. Or no, it's not a pulled pork ramen. It's a barbecue pork belly ramen, or they also have like pork tenderloin that's barbecue. It's hard for me to explain, but it was so good and my husband and I loved it. And it's been a while since we've had it, but they just have ramen in their bowl. It's definitely way better than top ramen, but you know, this is what we had. This is what we were working with. So we had that plus a fried egg. They do like soft boiled eggs. I've tried making those before. I failed at it and I didn't want to have to endure that again. And then some seaweed, some corn. They also have like a few other fancy things, but this really hit the spot. I was thinking that we could just kind of recreate it at home. And although it's not necessarily as good, it still hit the spot of wanting like that ramen restaurant's ramen. And my kids thought it was super fun and it was really good. On night 7, we had a chickpea curry that y'all might recognize because this was part of a budget challenge that I recently did. I will have that video linked in the description box if you're interested in seeing how this is made. Never forget, Jesus loves y'all and I love y'all too. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye!